Ralph, firstly, welcome to Team Europe and the world of the Moscone Cup. How are you feeling after the news of becoming captain for Team Europe this year?
Well, I'm pretty much overwhelmed with this. It's a very big honor to me. I mean, you can be captain of some local team, you can be captain of some squad, some national team, but to be a captain of a whole continent, that's something special, right?
And for those who may not know much about you, can you tell us a bit about your background within the world of billiards?
Oh, that might be a longer story though. I started in 1982. I was 17 back then, and yeah, I started as a player, obviously. And I was very encouraged, very dedicated. Not much talent, they said to me. So they predicted I won't make it anywhere. So, but it even motivated me more, right? And so later on, yeah, I became #1 in Europe once, and #1 in the world of trick shots. And then I wrote some books, 8 books, maybe a 9th one is coming up. And the first one was in 1995, and since then I got pretty much deep into instructions. So I held some trainings, lessons, private lessons, and later on also lessons for national teams like Thailand, Hong Kong, Singapore, Morocco, so Maldives at the last time. So this was quite a nice experience too. And for the European continent, I also were sent to some different countries in the east and south for developing their own instructors system, so that I gave instructor courses there. So I had a little bit influence here.
You've clearly been around the game for many years, and undoubtedly you will have seen the growth of the Moscone Cup in your time within the sport as well. What is it about the event that you enjoy personally?
I mean, beside the sporting part of it, it's also the show. The show I really enjoy. I mean, you put it so nicely into camera, you create an atmosphere with all the lightning, with all the headlights and spotlights and all the media coverage. So the sporting part is seriously, but the show part, I really enjoy that one, you know.
And you will only be the second German to captain Team Europe, following in the footsteps of Oliver Ortmann, someone I'm sure you know well. On a personal level, how much pride is there knowing that fact?
Now you mentioned it, it's a big honor to be in the footsteps of Oliver Ortmann. I mean, especially since I hold the speech for him when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we became very good friends after all those years, and yeah, that's a very special thing to me.
And looking at the Moscone Cup itself, I'm sure you're aware there's a lot more than prize money at stake in December. Bragging rights over USA for 12 months, something that can be deemed more valuable than that prize money. How do you think that pressure will affect you and your team out there?
Well, there will certainly be some pressure, but in general, I like to get some pressure, and I like to get. I'm motivated to handle that pressure, and usually it's the same job. No matter doesn't matter which topic it is. If it's Moscone Cup, this or that, or some TV show, right? But if there's some pressure, the recipes are usually the same. You have to prepare some inner sentences so that there's no room for negative thoughts coming in, and you have to prepare a little bit your body language, and of course keep an optimistic and positive encouragement during the event. And that's basically, I forgot about the breathing part, right? Keep breathing, keep calmness and relaxed so that you can handle anything that comes up to you.
You've already got one player locked in for your team this year, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. What are your thoughts on the Spaniard?
Oh, he's dedicated, he's young, he's focused, very concentrated, so there's not much more to ask for, right? So I'm confident with Francisco. It gives me even I feel relaxed, right? Because I might be more nervous than him because he already got some experience at the Moscone Cup.
I know it's early days, but are you already starting to think about the 2 wildcard spots at your disposal, or will you wait until the 2 automatic spots are filled after the Asian Open and the US Open?
Basically, I have to wait for those other 2 spots, because if it's about a team event, then you have to look also about the right mix of a team, you know. You have to have an experienced, seasoned player, you have to have also maybe a youngster coming up, you have to have someone who takes part of the fun part, right? And someone who brings everybody back to be concentrated. We got the same mission, right? Maybe during the whole year they are opponents to each other, but for 1 week they should stick together with the same goal, same motivation.
And looking opposite you against USA, you'll be going up against Jeremy Jones as the USA coach. How much have you interacted with him in the past, and is there respect and admiration for what he's done in the game?
Certainly respect, and in the past we met the first time like 30 plus years ago, 1991 I guess so, in some tournament in Texas. And I don't remember if we actually played each other, but we had a longer chat together and we had a good time, and after that our ways got separated. And I followed his career. He became US Open champion, this and that, and I became #1 in Europe, and so I have a lot of respect, and it's very special after 30 plus years now to play him in this position in the Moscone Cup. I like that.
And what style of coaching will you implement to your team in the build-up to the Moscone Cup? Traditionally, we've seen with the Team Europe side stacked full of world champions, and it can be quite difficult to manage those characters in a team like that.
That's right. I mean, they should keep their personality, but I try to keep them focused and concentrated. Not too much fancy things around, but sometimes, of course, if they have some anger, if they tensed up, sometimes you have to release it also somehow. But I like them to do it in a positive way, at least, if it's necessary. But otherwise, I like them to be business.
And Team Europe, they're coming off the back of 3 consecutive Moscone Cup titles. How important is it for you in your first year to retain that title, especially given that it's on home soil in London as well?
Well, I'm not coming here to lose, certainly. So, of course, it's important to win that thing, right? And yeah, I'm up for it. And I got a good team, so I don't worry too much here.
And lastly, do you have any words for the millions of Europeans that will be watching behind you in December and those in attendance at Alexandra Palace?
I appreciate every one of them. If they pull for us, if they tune in, if they watch, if they keep their thumbs like that. And yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So you're welcome. Come to us, watch us, and see how we're going to perform.